Hi guys, it's Aegis here. Today I'm here with a Bavsargra Steel Blazed Maiden deck profile. This is actually a retake because on the previous version that I made, I actually mistaken about one skill of Bavsargra, which I will tell you in a bit. But back to the deck, we do have actually quite a few options we can do, which clearly we have two routes with this deck. One is with overdress parts, which you use Trickster and use all the other overdress units like Arcs, Farina, normal Farina, Expector, Valiante, all this stuff, and play with them. But this one is actually a Blazed Maiden focus build, so we won't use any Trickster, we won't use any Fariners, because this is a different build. And through playtesting is quite interesting, even though I did mistaken her skill, making myself a little bit hard to play, but I also had a fun time that way. But once I know the correct skill, the deck is actually make a lot more sense, and let's go over it right now. So with the right line, we are using the starter deck right line, which is Bavsargra, Halibadra, Namokar, and Ahimsa. So only this is something that you can choose to change, but of course since we're making this build, there's no way we should change it, because you do need to write grade 1 on top of grade 0, the Soul Blast 1, in order to search you a sword or a shield, which is the Seal Blaze equipment that we have right now. And it's kind of a free search, only Soul Blasting 1, so we do need to use those two even if we have more Seal Blades in the future. And when you ride on top of the grade 1 with the grade 2, you can pick up a equipment card, which is an auto card, back to your hand. So when you ride your grade 2 on top of grade 1, from your right deck you can simply drop a equipment and pick that back up for a free right deck. And once you get into your grade 3, you do have quite a few skills, which first one is a once per turn Vanguard Circle. When you equip cards, you can soul charge one and call up to and select one of your grade 1 or lower units and call the regular circle. Yeah, so this is the part that where I actually mistaken the skill when I read it. Sometimes maybe I'm just tired or whatever. I misunderstand it as Soul Blast, but it is actually Soul Charge, which makes a lot more sense and making the second skill a lot more easier to activate, which is an active skill once per turn, Vanguard Circle. When this card have 2 or more equipments, you can Soul Blast 2, retire all of your opponent's primary guards, and gain 1 crit. So as long as you equip 2 cards, basically 1 per turn, because you can only use 1 order per turn, unless we have other different skills making it happen. But even the soul charge is once per turn, so I'm not suggesting you to do that, even if we can in the future. But being able to equip and soul charge, you already fulfilled the requirement, which is very helpful in making the skill a lot stronger. And once we are going through the Seal Blaze, you will know why this card is not gaining any power but only the crit. The answer is from the Seal Blaze. Yeah. So this is our right deck, and let's go into the main deck first. 3 more Saga, so that we can personal ride, we can get more souls faster, and we can do more things. You can draw 1 card at least from the personal ride, and you can even call her out as an attacker, because we do have cards that utilize Blaze Maidens, and she is a Seal Blaze Maiden, so she is also a Blaze Maiden, which if any cards that requires you to have a Blaze Maiden or requires you to do something with Blaze Maidens, she is also part of it, so no reason you don't run extra free copies. And then entering our Seal Blaze, which we have 4 swords and 3 shields. So I'm actually running 1 less shield for a few reasons. One, not like the sword, which you can counterblast 2 after attacking, and if your opponent is 4 or more damage, you can deal 1 damage. This will be gone, so you can equip again. And since you do have a left or right DET equipment, so you can only put 1 per side, and as long as you place a new one, the old one goes to the drop. So there's no reason you actually play more shields, because shields, when you equip, you counterblast 1 for it, which means you won't waste a counterblast to replace a shield that you already have on the field. So as long as you have 1 on the field, that's all you need. And the second skill of the shield is to plus 10k once per turn when this unit is being attacked and you equip this card. So it's a 10k shield, but again, you only have 1 chance to equip basically, and so far I don't see anything that touches opponent's order. So once you equip that, it's probably safe forever, and what's left is your PG cost, your right deck cost, basically it. Yeah, so don't have any reasons to play too much, and this also gives me more space. So back to the sword, the D1 damage will also gives 10k when the unit that equip this card attacking, so your Bavsargra will always be 23k when you attack with her. And it's not a once per turn, so if you hit a Dragon Empire overtrigger and stand your Vanguard, it will still be a 23k. And if you got crit with her own skill and you restand it, you can basically threaten your opponents even more. But just plus and crit, swing with a 23k, kind of forcing your opponents to guard, because even without the crit, if they are at like 2 or 3 damage, they take to 4, and you suddenly throw the sword, that's already 5. Which means they are at a fatal line that if they take 1 more damage, they are gone. Unless they're greed on. Yeah. So there are times that players always like to guard the Vanguard attacks and assuming you will deal that 1 damage. So this is up to you when you use it, but to me, I prefer a rushing style with this build. So if you do have a chance to do it, try to do it, because I have been playing games where I use up my resources so fast, and I need to take a long game and I can't stand that long. I always keep the sword there, not giving my opponents too much damage every single turn, but that doesn't work. Instead, we should push a lot harder, and then use what we have as a resources to protect ourselves, and push again and see who can run out of resources faster. That's probably a better way to play the deck, and from the remaining content you'll probably see what's make the deck even stronger. Now 4 of the Elba, which is a promo card that in the JP side we get it by purchasing cards, and for a certain amount we get certain amount of promo packs, which also includes like the Brandgate Sarasno support that can prison cards from top deck, which is a very important card, and at first she isn't that impressive, but once we have this build, it's actually a lot more impressive. Now what she requires you to do is to counterblast 1 and rest 3 regards with Blazed Maiden in different names. So of course she's also counting 1, Elba is also counting 1, and you need to find 1 extra. Then what you can do is draw 1 card and choose 1 of Vanguard and get a permanent skill that your favorite units will get plus 10k. So basically, you counterblast 1, you rest 3 Blazed Maidens with different names, you get a present right, which I think is not quite bad of a deal. And as long as you don't have an extra copy and you want more power to push, because sometimes your regards is not that strong, that 10k plus is helping you a lot, and you get to draw extra card. So it is a card that finds a way to shine, which is very nice, and you when you see more contents of this deck, you will see we actually use a lot of Blazed Maiden, so you don't need to worry that you are lack of Blazed Maidens. So let's put another Blazed Maiden on the stage, which is Tanya. So Tanya, when she appears on Regular Circle, you can color plus 1 and call a grade 0 to your Regular Circle, so you can get a extra booster for early rush. And also, when you see our grade 0's lineup, you will see why she is important, which will also link with Elba. Her second skill I usually don't use, which is when this unit attacks, so plus 1, choose one of your grade 0 card unit, and for your turn get plus 5k, which I usually won't need to, because I prefer to save the soul for using the sword to equip it, or for my Bavsargra to gain crit and Cardfight roll. So the resources goes there, but the color plus 1 call 1 grade 0 is actually helping. And I'm using 2 of the Ethan. He is a good counter charge source, and you just need to attack with him first and try to make your Vanguard hit. Then you can retire this unit, draw 1, and counter charge. You also get a draw 1. So we so far don't have a lot of good resources to counter charge. So this is a very valuable card, and I have been putting this card into many different Dragon Empire builds, and all of them just feeling great with him. So I'm also using him right here. In entering grade 1s, we have more Blazed Maidens, which is 4 Renaults. Because Renault is a basically a 10k attacker, can help you push early games. And usually can also help you hit interceptors. So what you need to do is to increase the Blazed Maiden on the field. So you can use Elba's skills whenever you want to. She's a good attacker, good booster, good early pusher, rusher. So there's no reason that we don't put her in. And then we have 2 of the Aruna, which when boosting grade 0 will get plus 5k, and she's also a Blazed Maiden. So worst of the worst, you have her, you call it grade 0 on the other side, so she can attack with 10k. When you're on grade 2, you attack with your Vanguard with 10k, and this is 18k, so kind of a good numbers. And if you also have another Renault, then you can make also another 18k column, which helps, because 18k columns is already great, and once you somehow plus 10 on those lines, it's 28, so 15k shield normal kind card. And that's where you start asking your opponents to give you more resources, and you gain advantage from there. And then for booster BGs, because we can have less cost to use it, that's the basic reason. MPGs are PG, so why not put them in? Now getting the grade 0s first, we have our Dragon Empire Overtrigger, because we do love withstands. In soul usage, we're using the Neo crit so that we can get more souls if we want to. If we have enough souls, he can just be a 15k shield. That doesn't matter at all. And next, we do have 4 of the Blazed Maiden crit, 3 of the Blazed Maiden fronts, and 4 of the Blazed Maiden heal. So with your Tanya, you can basically pull this up, and even if you pull this up and put it into your soul to give another unit plus 2k, also serves the purpose that got boosted gives 2k to something else, which sometimes if you are using 2 Renaults, you get plus 2k on the Renaults, making them a 20k column during grade 2 turns. Also hit key numbers, and this guy fills up your soul, and again boosted already, so very nice. You don't need to worry about this card too much, but most of the time what I pull up will be these, mainly these because they are 5ks. So this will just simply be an 18k column for early rush. If I just need some Blazed Maidens to call up with a Bavsargra, with and then maybe like Tanya, so that I can use Elba skill, I can do that. I don't need to rely on the grade 1 too much. So yeah, that's the reason that we do need that much. And if you look at the content, because we do run Renaults, we do run crit, we do run the heal, you actually do need to buy a the foreigner starter deck for this. But I don't think it's a bad idea, because one, you do have another set of triggers to combo around. Of course, this one is a booster rare, this one is a booster rare, so you need to find them elsewhere. But by buying the foreigner starter, you also get the trickster and the basic farina, so that you can also give the overdress build a little bit taste, and see if you want to actually upgrade it with like Arcs, with Valiante, with Expector, which I think is a good start. Yeah, so that's basically the content, and the playstyle is actually rush focus, because you can see I'm running 4 Renaults, and Renaults are very famous for early rush, especially against deck that takes a little bit time to get through, like Bruce, or even like Office. They do become a little bit faster, but they still need to wait. So and that's your chance to keep pushing them hard, because your opponents know you are going to throw the sword for extra damage. You're hitting hard because you have the sword, and they might even just guard early. And if they can't even guard early, then you can just push through and win your games there. Also, another little note about Elba is sometimes I actually do put her behind my Vanguard, because I don't want her to get attacked or something. Of course, you still get retired, still get dragged out, still get put into prison or whatever, but staying at the back usually helps. But if you do have her during your grade 2 turn and you do need attackers, just place her out. It's okay. Even if she get retired, you force your opponents to use some resources on her, which is good for you. Because if they save those resources on something that is more important, then you will have trouble. And also, if you turn the attack target into this card, you save yourself 1 damage or maybe like extra cards to guard. So that is something that I learned when I actually try out the deck. Sometimes I save her in hand, but in the end I should actually play her out and just give as much damage as I can early game, so that once I get into my grade 3, I can start doing extra personalize. I can throw my sword to push damage through and do whatever I need to build my board back. And this deck is so easy to build up the board. You don't need to think about too much, because even 10k, as long as you have Elba, you can pump them to 20k. And you can see I don't even run draws, because we do have a lot of cards that helps us to gain advantage, draw some cards to build up the board, and from there you just find your better playstyle on what you want to do. Yeah, so that's basically the deck list. I haven't tested out the overdress build yet. Maybe I will in a little bit time, but so far I do see overdress build winning a little bit more. But at the same time, the weakness of the overdress is still there, that your Farina is now not protected by anything. So if you're in a meta that is like a prison focus or retire focus, then you'll have a hard time. Which is why I'm choosing this build, because all of the base maidens, they are good, but if they get retired, you can pull them back. If they got prison, if you have more base maidens, you just place them out. Even triggers that, because of prison, they always put your triggers in there because they think you don't want to take them back, or like even if you take them back, it's not that much of a deal, because they have cards that minus you 5k when you take cards out from prison. But now you can turn those 0 attack cards into something else, which is very nice. And this is why I actually like this build more than the overdress build, because I don't need to take care of my units too much. Of course, I do need to do that sometimes, but not like overdress that I need to keep that unit alive. But these, I can sometimes keep them alive, sometimes don't. And Renault, which is one of our greatest attacker, can simply be picked up by Bavsargra. So you can, it's so easy to get back up your attack line or booster and do whatever you want with this deck. We do have at least a spear and gun coming out, so still looking forward to see what we will get from there. And once the new booster out with the new cards, I will test them and will of course upgrade this deck and show you another deck profile of the upgraded version. Maybe it's not the Blazed Maiden build anymore, but we'll see. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. If you like this deck profile, make sure you give this video a like, subscribe to my channel for more deck profiles, more deck fights. Comment down below, do you like the new Blazed Maiden idea with the equipment? Do you like the Blazed Maiden build more, or you prefer the overdress build more? Comment down below and we can discuss further. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.